I'm sorry to say that this video will not include any Moira Rose footage.
I've been gutted!
I mean, I agree, but I don't know how to include it.
He folds it in.
Oh. Well, that's super easy. Yeah, we'll do that.
I am approachable.
Welcome to A Tough Act to Follow. I'm Preston, aka the Ploominator, and I will be your bold, desperate mother fighting to return back to all the lost children of Christmas-time Hollywood. But before I get started, I want to make sure that everyone's getting the full experience of the Ploomination, so be sure to share, like, and subscribe. And check out my Patreon for even more. Links below. And as this season begins to change from spooky and gory to snowy and wildly capitalistic, it's important to find ways to bridge these gaps and prepare for the upcoming holiday season. And since this channel wants to be a part of helping that transition in some sort of way, I'm going to showcase a talent who kind of bridges that gap. And I'm doing this with a one-of-a-kind talent who just shows the full-fledged power of a comedic female performance in everything that she does. There are many comedians out there, but there is only one, Catherine O'Hara. And Catherine, while known for her witty comedic chops, brilliant characters, and laugh-out-loud line deliveries, is far more than that, because her talents as an actress stretch across some of the best beloved classics in all manner of holiday genres. And while yes, you have to acknowledge that she leans into her natural skill set more often than not, you also have to see that there is a lot of talent that we may not initially realize is there. There are comedians who can act, and there are actors who can do comedy, but neither side of that teeter-totter can do it quite as well as the balanced and phenomenal Catherine O'Hara, which makes her a tough act to follow. Catherine O'Hara's talent for comedy is so much better than people realize, and yet it wasn't really until Schitt's Creek brought her back into our lives that we saw just how much she can do to make us laugh. But the truth is that Catherine is spectacular at playing characters who just make us bust a gut time and time again. And the reason for this is because she's not afraid to really let the weirder parts of herself out. She can take these almost too wild aspects of her characters and totally make us just believe that that's who they are.
It's cute, Delia.
Daylight come and me want go home.
Otho, are you doing
Work
this?
all night and a drink of rum.
And this absurdity is not just about justifying the characterizations, it's also about justifying the intentions those characters have. It's taking these moments that most of us would see as just way too much or way too out of left field, and somehow making them work and making them be properly motivated. Catherine is someone who can react in a wild and at times aggressively explosive way, and while some actors fail to showcase the intentional build-up to those moments, Catherine can sell it just about each and every time.
I will not stop living and breathing art just because you need to relax.
Ha!
I'm here with you. I will live with you in this hellhole, but I must express myself. If you don't let me gut out this house and make it my own, I will go insane and I will take you with me!
Yeah, well, you know, maybe the house could use a little remodeling, but why don't you just leave this room alone, okay?
And her comedic background comes from her talent for improvisation. Improvisational acting is a delicate and complex balance between creating truth and pushing that truth to an extreme for comedy. We often think of improv as this goofy whose line is it anyway style of sketch comedy, but really it's about creating truthful reactions to unpredictable responses. Or, as I call it, just being alive. Improv is just about accepting reality as it comes to us, and when movies are based in or around it, they seem more grounded as a result.
And I just thought she was the prettiest thing that I'd ever seen. And she was there with somebody else. She was very popular back then. She had dozens of boyfriends.
Hundreds.
Hundreds.
Yeah, hundreds.
I did not know that. Hundreds. Well, not that I didn't have a reputation myself.
But this doesn't mean that improv is entirely realistic either. There are still chances to have fun. One of the ways that Catherine can do this is through physical comedy. Now, we think of physical comedy as the people who fall down, make bold faces, break everything in their path in the process, but Catherine is one of the best physical comedians out there, and it's because she knows it's not about the spectacle, but about finding those small details that really sell the comedy of the character. And she can do these physical bits in a way that makes them funny, but not so much that they don't seem real.
Honey,
Trip on!
honey.
Somebody put something
something down here so I don't trip? Why did you fall?
Okay, yeah, fine.
Okay, it's just my knee. It's just my knee. No, it's
careful
just
with
my
it.
knee. I'm fine.
Why don't you
Fine.
just-
Okay, look
let's
out.
take a little walk.
I'm gonna step on your dog.
Oh no, your knee is all messed up.
We need a doctor. Can we get a medic, please?
Best in show, Jerry.
Your knee is ballooning up like a watermelon, sweetheart. He's okay.
You can't miss this.
And this knack has to go beyond just the standard idea of building a character. What makes Catherine's improv so brilliant is that she knows how to just live in the moments. Listening and reacting is a crucial part of the human experience, and we have to find those moments to balance that as actors because we're not going to seem real otherwise. If we don't actually exist within the world that's beyond the page or the pre-planned dialogue or any other aspect of sort of scripting, we're not going to seem like real characters. Catherine is incredible at just being there when the camera's on her and existing without taking our whole focus away from what's going on.
I'm going to be glad to do the show on Broadway, and there'll probably be other offers, keeping our fingers crossed, but I don't know if the theater and the stage is for me. I mean, for one thing, there's an awful lot of memorizing of lines, and I think you know what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's always been
The ultimate goal, Hollywood. Even when I was a kid doing my impressions, here's looking at you, babe, and you don't care about anyone but yourself.
And this realistic aspect is knowing that she can be so engaged in something that she can act outside what we expect. Or more specifically, she knows that sometimes people just suck at doing stuff. There's this idea that comes from movies that we watch the people live their lives in their elements or succeed time and time again unless the story's about that, but truthfully that's not always the case. Sometimes people have incredibly high passion for something that they are terrible at, and in highly comedic situations it can be more honest for someone to take that passion and do it to the extreme the more they suck at it. It's especially funny when you get to watch good actors play actors who are bad actors, because then you get to see them make those big mistakes that we all think about, and that tells us that they really know what they're doing, because there's that old adage of when you know all the rules, you know how to break them. Catherine breaks them phenomenally, and it makes the character come to life as a result.
When is the rain gonna stop, Mama?
Don't rightly know, child.
It's been raining for 28 straight days.
The Lord moves in mysterious ways, but there's always a reason for what he does.
The rain makes me sad, Mama. Does it make you sad too?
I just wish it would stop, that's all.
Me too.
But the best comedic actors are not just the ones who can push jokes, pratfalls, and camp all the way to the extremes. They also have to know that sometimes the choices are more complex than that, and they don't always get to be the ones who make the jokes. Sometimes they just have to act honestly. And sometimes this makes them take roles that don't actually let them be very funny, but they still succeed because they know it's not always about the comedy, it's about creating the realism and the diversity of the characters who fit the needs of the story. And sometimes that story needs to be a little more grounded and rational rather than big and quirky, at least for that character.
Sally, I need your help more than anyone's.
You certainly do, Jack. I had the most terrible vision.
That's splendid.
No, it was about your Christmas. There was smoke and fire.
That's not my Christmas. My Christmas is filled with laughter and joy and this. My Sandy Claus outfit. I want you to make it.
Jack, please listen to me. It's going to be a disaster.
How could it be? Just follow the pattern.
But this grounding doesn't mean that you lose the comedy completely either, or you let go of all of those oddities. Sally is a really spectacular character because she knows how she fits in this wild world around her. She's not trying to be something that she's not, even as her ambitions push beyond her current circumstances. And Catherine shows us this purely through her voice. But what makes Catherine's work in this movie spectacular is Sally's not the only character she voices. And the other character could not be more different from her. By letting Catherine showcase her ability to differentiate these characters and do so in ways that makes both of them make sense for the ultimate product, it sells both the movie and her talents as an actor to us in the process.
There's more than one. Sandy Claus is behind a door shaped like this.
I told you! You knock it off!
I'm very sorry for the inconvenience, sir. Take him home first. And apologize again. Be careful with Sandy Claus when you fetch him. Treat him nicely.
Got it. We'll get it
right next time.
And all of this has allowed Catherine to really succeed in a wider variety of roles than other comedic actors like her. She's taken a strong position in the world of performance, and that's granted her a longevity that you don't always get to see, especially with women. Because it's not always about being the funniest or the quirkiest or the most memorable, it's about being someone who can deliver a truly honest performance. And more importantly, it's about someone who can ground the quirks in a way that delivers the reality that the movie needs to sell, the characters need to sell, and ultimately, the story needs to sell.
Hold on, please.
No, please don't hang up. Please. No. Any luck?
No. I couldn't get anybody.
Leslie?
I'm sorry, Kate. Nothing but a bunch of answering machines.
Somebody pick up.
Oh, hi, ma'am. It's you again.
Yeah, hi, look. I'm calling from Paris. I have a son who's home alone, and
Okay. We'll send a policeman over to your house to check on your son.
There is a talent here that we may not be fully aware of, but Catherine is using all of the same skills she's been using in everything else. Only she's adding this layer of grounding it in the stakes of the story. In essence, she's pulling everything she does back, and it's helping make the character less about selling jokes to the audience, and more about making these kind of comedic moments sell the character as a real person, in real circumstances. And in selling that real person, it helps make those moments more real as well, and sometimes that makes them funnier.
Did I turn off the coffee?
No. I did.
Did you lock up?
Yeah.
Did you close the garage?
That's it. I forgot to close the garage, that's it.
No, that's not it.
What else could we be forgetting?
And all these skills let Catherine continue to grow and evolve over the years, showcasing new and exciting performances that go beyond just being true to the characters, but actually allow her to tell really exciting, honest, and funny stories. This talent and dedication to the honesty of the craft is what makes it work, and ultimately that's what gives Catherine the ability to stand out beyond the basics of her talent and create more complex and impeccable characters than we may initially realize. So why do we like Catherine O'Hara? 1. Catherine is quirky. Catherine's natural ability to bring out the more bizarre and unusual aspects of her characters shows comedic prowess. Where she stands out from other comedians is how she makes these quirks not only seem like a natural part of the character, but somehow also natural for the world that character inhabits. 2. Catherine improvises. Catherine's ability to stay grounded and natural in the stories that she tells all comes together because of her ability to improvise naturally. She takes this farther than just responding to certain aspects of dialogue and can actually make physical choices that really sell the balance between wacky and grounded perfectly. 3. Catherine exists as a human. From listening to the dialogue around her with genuine interest to the ability to showcase the flaws of a person and her characters, Catherine knows how to make characters human in a way that shows them in all dimensions. By playing the characters as genuinely human, it helps make the comedy more honest and therefore makes the story and characters more real because of that. 4. Catherine can be subtle. While she has a knack for big moments with loud characters, Catherine is still able to play the quiet, rational moments just as much when the role calls for it. This is further helped by her ability to subtly insert the quirks she's known for, even in the most down-to-earth characters and stories. 5. Catherine tells the story. Catherine's characters work because she does the honest crafting to make them work. By doing this honest work, Catherine can tell more honest stories and ultimately make characters who work to bring those honest stories to life. Catherine O'Hara is a one-of-a-kind talent, and she has a long and phenomenal career because of it. While she's worked with some of the best directors around, there is just something about her that keeps us finding new things that she does and earns our laughs time and time again. And while this new resurgence in our lives has been crafted through her television work, her initial talent landed in our funny bones because of her brilliant filmography. So, let's talk about some of the best ones. These are my 5 essential Catherine O'Hara performances. 1. Beetlejuice. This horror comedy from the mind of Tim Burton lets Catherine have fun with a character who feels both foreign and completely at home in this absurd landscape. Her contrast between dedication and rejection of her weirder moments sells the comedy while still showing the horror of the character's experiences underneath. 2. Best in Show. This hilarious mockumentary showcases Catherine's natural improvisational abilities, but also her talent for building physical quirks. The subdued line delivery and phenomenal reactions sell the character and helps make this laugh-out-loud parody of dog show culture really land overall. 3. Waiting for Guffman. Another fabulous mockumentary from the mind of Christopher Guest. Catherine plays a smaller but no less comical character in this look at the small-town community theater world. Catherine gets to show bad acting at its finest and ultimately helps sell this believable ensemble of everyday people better than most of her castmates. 4. The Nightmare Before Christmas. This stop-motion marvel lets Catherine take on two roles that could not be more different. If her in-character singing and quirky work as trick-or-treater Shock wasn't already enough to sell this movie for you, her down-to-earth rational look at Sally helps give the movie the heart that it needs to succeed. 5. Home Alone. A Christmas classic, Catherine's work as a desperate mother fighting to get home to her son keeps this comedy from seeming callous and instead lets the story of family being reunited be just as important as the story of a young boy comically defending his home from burglars. And that is why Catherine O'Hara is a tough act to follow. Thank you all for watching. Which Catherine O'Hara roles are your favorites? Are there any other brilliant comedians out there you want to see more of? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you like this video, please give it a like. If you do, I will audition for your small town musical as soon as possible, I promise. And if you want to get more secrets of this series, please check out my Patreon, and in the process you can get a cool shout out too. And to ensure you never miss another episode of A Tough Act to Follow, one to watch, complex casting, or welcome to the party pal, be sure to subscribe. Thanks again for watching, and as I always say, thanks for taking the time to get Ploominated.